What's going on, everybody? If you don't know me, it's your little homie Dean. Here to bring you Wu-Tang, an American Saga, Season 2, Episode 6 review. Now, if you can, do me a big favor and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to, go ahead and leave a remark down in the comment section if you agree or disagree with anything that I'm saying. All right, boom. So now this one jumps off, man, and it's just power and RZA brother up in there with RZA, and RZA just off into his little mode. Now, if you ever been to a studio or looked at any of these rappers, or at least these music producers or whatever, especially a nigga that make beats, really, them niggas get lost into something else. Like, I ain't never been one to make beats. I thought I could possibly rap at one point, but I couldn't make any beats or anything like that, because that gets into a special mode of what is needed and what isn't needed, and it's a constant fight with your head and what's right and what's wrong. Just because somebody, I say I like it, then them motherfuckers will listen to it for 5 more minutes and be like, no, I gotta change this. Okay, no, don't change it, I got to. And you know what I mean, they just, it'd be something in their head. And I just like on this episode, man, they took a deep dive into that producer mind frame. I'm sure Timberland or Jazzy Faye or anybody that really make beats just had to really just look at that. I bet that's what be going on through all their heads, taking stuff out, putting stuff in, and then and just the way that the craftsmanship, you know, the direction they have to go to even come out with this. And from another show, Billions, you know what I mean, they said that the thing that makes you an artist is knowing when the job is finished. So, you know what I mean, whether you're painting, whether, you know what I mean, dude could have kept on, you know, touching up the Mona Lisa for years, you know what I mean? But for to know it's finished, to know that it's done, that's where the artist, you know what I mean, talent come into play. Even, you know, if you taking pictures or painting them, you know what I mean, or making music, when you know that it's finished, that's the artistry coming alive or whatever. So the way that, you know what I mean, he didn't think it was finished, and the way he knew that they didn't have the right single, it was just a perfect jump. And you know, it was great this episode not to deal with all that tension through these niggas and everybody over here trying not to fight each other and all of that, and it's finally coming together as we can see the Wu-Tang clan being formed. Now after they go ahead and Power tells them, man, we got 2 days of studio time. We need to go ahead and get the single ready so we can get it pressed up. You know what I mean? And then RZA is like, all right, we're going to have to do a whole new song. So he works the whole day, man, going to music record shops and everything, trying to find him, you know, a new sound, a new beat and everything. So he go picks up a couple of records. This is little dude over here that used to rap with Ghostface over here now just following him from store to store, because they know he got the new sound and everything. So now dude is trying to mimic his sound, mimic his style, and try to snatch it up before he can even create it. I don't even know how that's going to do it. You can take the exact same record, but you're not going to hear what I hear and be able to do anything with it. You know what I mean? You don't know if I'm coming for drums, snares, if you don't know if I'm going to this album for the trumpets, the horns, I mean, piano. I mean, so you going to go copy and get the songs that I'm getting, how is that going to give you the same sound? It's not. So I don't really see the point in Buddy in that whole situation. But you know what I mean, he gets back to the lab, and then, you know, he got his uncle in his head, or was that his grandfather or something in his head, you know, just talking to it, going through the motion, just trying to get it started. And I just couldn't imagine, man, you know, starting from nothing and being able to pull something out like that. Now, they're dropping Protect Your Neck, which is like one of the first songs, was the first single by Wu-Tang that had everybody on there so they could come out hard and jump it off real tough. I did listen to Wu-Tang growing up, you know what I mean? I'm 40, so I listened to Wu-Tang growing up before No Limit and Hot Boys and all that shit took over the South. But, you know what I mean, we was bumping Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? Used to buy Wu gear and all of that stuff, so I fucks with all these niggas heavily. And these niggas, I didn't know all the beef and stuff was going on with Ghostface and Ray, and with Ghostface just not having a kid and everything. He's trying to get his mind together. But I like how they were talking about how Meth is just immediately standing out as the star, because we knew that as soon as Wu-Tang dropped, Method Man was one of the greater ones. The old dirty bastard, man, and the way he just moves through, I mean, he seems so, I mean, just seems like old dirty more than any character I can say that's been depicted on film. But it seems like old dirty, man. And you know what I mean, old dirty Osiris out this motherfucker, man. That the dude is playing a hard role. And the acting on every level is just top tier. Now they got the you know, they have to pay for this. Actually, they built the studio inside their apartment regardless of the code violations and everything. But now they're still having to pay for this extra studio because you just can't get it mixed and mastered how you need it to get on the radio and get played in the clubs because it's not going to sound right. So they just had this. So they basically did all that for nothing to just have to go in here and still actually pay for all this studio time. So, studio time can be stressful. It can be a little bit like, you're hard pressed to come up with something in a short amount of time because you're paying for it. I always told anybody, if you're going to go into the studio, you need to borderline have your damn song uh, already memorized. You should be able to rewrite down the song. Like if you didn't even have no paper, you could at least rewrite your verses because it's memorized. That way you can go into the booth and not be wasting time with inflection, with your voice and how it sounds. Yeah, you ain't got time for all that in the studio. It costs too much. You need to hurry up, get in there and get out. Go ahead and drop that thing and let the engineer do his work on your voice. And that's basically, they don't do that. They just in there just writing, rapping, talking over each other. Yeah, my turn, it's crazy. Jizza jumping off, man, writing off a pizza box. And you know what I mean? That was one of the more iconic verses, to ever start off a hip hop song, man, with the way he did that. And then you got, that was Inspector Dick that jumped it off. And then you got the Jizza ending it out. The Jizza was really always the best lyricist in the group. But, Ghostface, Raekwon, they had that real gutter, grimy slime to it, that really pushed them to the forefront. And this is after Method Man basically blew the whole thing up. So, yeah, just the chess pieces and the way he was moving out the different sounds. I just love the way they orchestrated that and how they went through the motions of every sound and how to ticket. You look at that old ass equipment he using and how he get to plug and play that shit, man. That shit was cold, man. And it was just a refreshing episode, man. Not dealing with any beefs, really seeing how this thing gets started, and we about to push it on up to the top. I hope they get to Japan or somewhere with these boys international before the season over. But still gotta watch and see. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it. There it is.